Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, I am Suzanne Smith. I represent Grafton County, District 8, the towns of Plymouth, Hebron, and Holderness. And I am here to speak in favor of the proposed amendment on Senate Bill 99. I was a co-sponsor on the original legislation, and I heartily support this amendment. Since the 1990s, the Site Evaluation Committee has guided the review and evaluation process for energy facility projects, transmission lines, line upgrades, natural gas pipelines, wind projects, and more. And if you look at the number and scope of applications to the SEC over the years, it makes it clear that the number of applications is increasing. In 2012 alone, 3 wind energy projects and a natural gas pipeline project were introduced. The statutes governing the SEC are outdated. There are increased dockets and less money. The SEC has no budget appropriations. State agencies receive standard permitting fees, but the applicants of energy projects pay no application fee per se. Our state agency commissioners or their appointees devote hundreds of hours to their SEC work. With the increased number of energy projects proposed for New Hampshire in the coming years, the SEC is finding itself stretched, and I have very strong concerns that they will not be able to keep doing their work so that both applicants and the public get a fair shake. I represent the people of the Newfound region who are now looking at 3 proposed projects, wind projects, and it is really important that the SEC be able to handle the work that is coming their way. And once a project is completed, the SEC's work does not end. If anything needs to be changed, or if interveners come with complaints, afterwards the SEC remains responsible for the project 5, 10, 20 years later. The moratorium will hit the pause button. The statutes need more than tweaking. The system is strained. With a little time, a full review of the SEC statutes can be completed. A moratorium will provide that time. We need the Site Evaluation Committee for the 21st century, a new, better, and different ways to get things done. What works and what does not in the statutes today? What are other states doing? Are we considering the cumulative impacts of projects, the public benefit of projects, regional and state energy needs, public participation? Are the concerns of towns impacted by proposed projects being addressed? We need a transparent process, a new, more efficient SEC for the 21st century. I urge you to support the important study of the Site Evaluation Committee and the moratorium, which will allow the OEP time to complete its work. And in the interest of time and many people behind me, I will end there. And if you have any questions, I'm available.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Question of Bob O'Day.
Thank you very much. As you may know, I represent the town of Webster.
Yes.
And we could have drawn 3 people to a room at that time when the windmill was proposed for that community. We have something called the RPS, and we just had a discussion about it today. That bill was supported on a bipartisan basis and came into creation. The central part of that was a robust development of renewable generators of electricity in the state of New Hampshire. And at that time, I think many of us were thinking just exactly what has happened is what we wanted to happen, and that was we wanted to have a flourishing of renewable energy. We could argue, discuss whether wind is a suitable renewable energy long term or in terms of base load and some of those issues. But the idea that all of a sudden we're going to hit a pause button or stop button, we use the term moratorium, I think that that's a really hard thing for some of us who have worked so hard to see us increase our green energy production to get down that road.
I agree with much of what you've said. We have the Groton Wind Project in Rumney and Plymouth, and I, for one, do enjoy looking at the towers, and I was not opposed to that project. But just locally in our little area, we now have 3 projects proposed that will be in a 10-mile length of the ridges surrounding, on the west shore of Newfound Lake. And that has the public very concerned that there is not a transparent process, because they feel like the perception is often everything, that they will not get a fair shake. that the things are not being taken into consideration that are of highly importance to them, such as tourism and the economy, which tourism is the largest part of the economy in that region. And I am not totally in favor of more renewables, but I think that what the testimony that we've heard from Commissioner Burak is that the SEC is getting overwhelmed. So I think work needs to be done. I think we just need to do things as best we can and in the best way possible. A moratorium will give that time. I do understand your concerns, but I think that we really do need this work done, and to try to do it with projects breathing down the back of the SEC could be very difficult.
Follow-up.
In your research and preparation for today, can you tell me one time in the state of New Hampshire when we've selected a segment of our economy that said stop? We won't approve you, we won't allow you to even apply during a period of a moratorium, or the common phrase today is after hitting the pause button.
I have not studied that, so I can't answer that.
Thank you very much for your testimony.
Thank you.
For coming before Energy